Hi, I'm DKWILL, and this is DK. We'll talk about it.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right.
Okay, I know it's been a long time since I did a video, so you don't have to tell me, but I'm doing one now. And I've said many times, y'all, give me some inspiration, share, and I appreciate everyone who shares, and I appreciate everyone who subscribes. But YouTube just jacks you around when you're a paradigm whisperer like me. I don't really follow any particular narrative. I've said what I believe, and that's what I can talk about. That's why it's DK. We'll talk about it. Can nobody make me wrong when I'm talking about how I think, right? So here's where I'm at. Yeah, I'm still dealing with issues that you heard about in the past. That's okay. I'm not the slightest bit dismayed about it. And in fact, I'm charged about it, but it does take some time. So this video is going to be pretty much on something that I've been talking about for a long time. We all know about the new monetary system. I've heard many times me talking about the arguments about gold-backed money. Now it's here, so the arguments are over, right? We've talked about that. I've done videos saying, hey, the banks are going to fail. You better be careful. And banks have been failing. They've been covering their tracks and make it look good. You're moving your money around probably takes longer because they've been using it longer than necessary to stay afloat. But the point I'm making here is we are rushing into very critical times. We have the situations out east where people are getting destroyed, and my prayers are with those people. And we're not immune. Those of us who haven't been touched yet, they see the weather. They can drop it on your area anytime. So it pays to be prepared, and as best as you can be. And it pays to have some type of reaction to mode in play, as well as it pays to know where your worth is. And what you see in front of you is a Bitcoin.com news article from Jim Rickards. I told you I have Jim Rickards' book, The Case for Gold. I've been saying now for literally, 6 or 7 years that gold is going to go up, and gold is going to probably do 5,000 and 10,000 and 15, 20, 25,000. And so it is a solid place to put your money. And the reason I'm doing this article is to show that it's a solid place to put your money. Now, let me be clear. It is not the only place to put your money. But it's a safe place. In fact, I did the breakdown, and I think 10% of my portfolio is in gold, either physical or being held for me in an account online at a vault in Switzerland. To be honest with you, is how they do it. But I'm pretty sure it was 10%. When I pause at this break and go to another video, I'll look and be sure, and I'll tell you the breakdown of my portfolio, my fluid portfolio. But Jim Rickards says that the Treasury should buy gold to avoid dollar substitution by new forms of money like crypto. Now, let me be clear. That's just a bunch of malarkey, okay? They know that it's going to be gold back. They're giving people narratives to see why it's happening. But buying gold to avoid dollar substitution is buying gold because of Basel III, because of the transition to gold-backed money. The U.S. is dragging its feet, but nothing's going to stop it. But it says here, he explained that buying gold to back the dollar, but I'm in the room with Bogey too, will restore confidence in the currency. So, if the governments are buying gold, why in the world wouldn't anyone with any good sense not do the same thing? And I'm going to say it like this. Do it while you can do it. You follow me? They make it more and more difficult for regular folks to invest wisely the way they do. You know, that's why they came up with the accredited investor. An accredited investor, you basically got to be a millionaire, or you have to make a couple 100,000 plus a year, 3 years in a row, 2 years, and expected to make it the third year. Or you can be a low Joe like me who earned your credentials as a registered rep in Series 7 so that you qualify to be an accredited investor. But that's how they keep the regular people out of the picture. That's the reason they're taking over and putting in ETFs and everything else, because they want you to go through them. Gold is one of those things where you still don't have to go through them. And I'm also going to include the Treasury in this if I can get moving. I'm talking way more than I thought I would. But just to give you an idea of where I'm coming from here, Goldman Sachs raises the gold forecast to 2,900 by 2025. Do you know what gold is right now, Bogey? We'll talk one at a time, brother. Be quiet. Well, I can show you. Gold right now is at 2666.76. It's up $34 an ounce. Goldman Sachs is saying that it's going to go to 2,900 in 2025. I say it's going to do more than that. And as you can see here, I'm not alone. Here, this article says gold's rally is not over yet, says UBS Bank. And in their UBS analysts maintain a confident outlook for gold, stating the rally in the precious metal is far from over. Now, to be clear, when they start selling that to the regular people, you can best believe it's true. But in a note dated Wednesday, they raised their gold price forecast, particularly that prices would approach 2,800 by the end of 2024 and climb to 3,000. Like I said, I say it's more than that. So does UBS by 2025. So why am I doing this? I also said that I would tell you, I did find my little list that I made. And here's the breakdown. Actually, 11.2% of my liquid assets, relatively liquid, are in gold. And I'm not a financial advisor, but I suggest that you put some security in gold. And just to give you an idea as well, I have 31% in crypto. I got 10 in gold and 31% in crypto. That's going to change, but that's where it's at right now. About 30% is in cash and 10% is in Treasury Direct. What I shared with you on a prior video of how you can go and create your account. And I can tell you right now, I absolutely have done, I practice, people, I practice what I preach. And here it is right in front of you. DKWILL's Treasury Direct, where you can buy and manage your own U.S. Treasury securities without the middleman. I'm going to cover my amount, but I am showing you that I actually do practice what I preach. And I encourage you to consider doing the same. Keep it in mind that 10%, I have 10% in treasuries, 11% in precious metals, 31% in cryptos, 30% in cash, and the others are in private equities. Countries are doing the same thing. Turkey rapidly expands its gold reserves to an all-time high. Turkey's gold reserves soared to a new record. Remember, Turkey was having all that financial problem in the past, and their money pretty much became worthless. Do you remember that? Well, now they have gold reserves to back their money. Turkey's gold reserves have reached a new milestone, reaching an all-time high of 584.93 tons in the second quarter of 2024. This marks a significant increase from the 570 tons in the previous quarter, according to data from the World Gold Council. Let's not forget that Basel III was implemented, and they better have the backing for their funds. Folks, We are going, matter of fact, we're not going, it's here, to a gold-backed monetary system of sound money. And there's nothing you can do to stop it because it's already underway. But what you can do, keep it in mind, just like the ideas behind Ripple and XRP, when you start putting all this value in these locations, putting all the monetary value, if you recall, I showed you that there are charts from way back of the little block squares of where all the money is, quadrillions. When you start stuffing all that into centralized locations, the value has no choice but to go up. And one of those centralized global locations is going to be gold. So the countries are increasing their shares of gold. India's gold imports hit a 3.5-year high. I mean, that's all I have to say about that. It says, despite tensions in the Middle East boiling over in the last week, the gold price was little change and continued to consolidate at that time around 26.50. We looked at it today, it's 26.66. And it's just going to keep going up. You want to know something that I think is going to contribute to it going up? And you want to know something that I think is a part of all this mind speak that they do in the governments and the powers that be and everything? And as you know, I'm neutral, so don't ever get your panties in a bind when I talk about it, because I'm neutral. I don't vote or anything. So, but I can see, Bogey, I can see what's going on. Who better to bring in a gold-backed monetary system but this guy right here, wearing his gold hard hat? That's a young version of him. This article is called "A Psychologist Reveals What Trump's Fixation with Gold Really Means." Bunk all that. What I'm saying is, he is absolutely part of the powers that be, or they wouldn't be trying to assassinate him so many times if he's just a nobody. He's going to make changes. What kind of changes is he going to make? Well, what are all the wars about? All the wars are about money. Bogey, stop. They need a war so they can generate more and more funds, and that's not being allowed to occur. They want a kinetic war. There is a war going on, but it's not as kinetic. It's not as bombs and missiles as it could be, because that's mutually assured self-destruction. But this man is going to bring in the gold-backed monetary system. And if you think about it, we're not too far away from that. Am I predicting the outcome of the election? No, I'm not. I'm observing the trend and the direction where things are headed. Despite all the narratives, despite all the mind speak, despite all the division being created, there is nothing going to stop this transition to a gold-backed monetary system. And this guy is going to have and is having a lot to do with it. I'm going to finish this video out with the clip that I did for GLINT, a little brief section of it, as well as a clip from a prior video I did way back in December of 2023, expressing what I'm expressing to you now. And what I'm encouraging you to do is look for the links in my page, look for the links to go and to set yourself up for GLINT. I hope I have a link for TREASURYDIERCT. If I don't, I'll put one there. I think I did. I'll check before I post the video. But you know, diversify your funds. You don't leave it all in one pot, because what are you going to do if the flood comes your way? Buy some gold. And that's possible by just going here to GLINT, where you can buy, you can save, you can send, and you can spend real gold instantly with GLINT. And then I did a video back in July of this year, and it was entitled, Don't Do As They Say, Do As They Do. They are not our friends. I followed that up with, you made your money, now where are you going to put it? And that's the purpose of this video. I introduced this video with the advertisement about gold. I've always stood by gold. From the moment I entered the internet world and made myself a person or a personality or an ID or a handle or whatever you want to call it, I said, blockchain is the wave of the future, ride the wave. I highlighted gold, precious metals, real estate is the way to go, and I made it a point to say that government securities was another place where I was going to spend my money, because like this one says, here's your money, so now spend it how we tell you. We don't want that to happen to us. We want to find safe places to put our funds and to have the least impact on us from a tax perspective. So aside from maybe looking for money managers with the SIPC insurance instead of the FDIC insurance, aside from looking at real estate and trying to invest in real estate because they're not going to make more Earth, even if they do make it to Mars, there's another place that you might want to concern yourself with, and that's government securities. And you can do that right here at Treasury Direct. You literally can create an account at Treasury Direct, and you can, without the middleman, purchase government securities, savings bonds, Treasury marketable securities, and you can see here we offer electronic sales and auctions of other U.S.-backed investments to the general public, financial professionals, and state and local governments. Yes, as the general public, you don't need Bank of America, U.S. Bank, Schwab, or anybody to use your Treasury securities for you. You can buy them yourself.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right.